This is Dom Gervasi, owner and producer of Maynard Brooklyn Tours, going virtual from Brooklyn, New York, virtually the center of the universe. I gotta have fun with this. And we're introducing Joann Montalto.
Hey everyone,
How you doing, Joann?
how you guys
Uh,
doing?
it's okay. They know we're not going live, so this has been pre-recorded, just so you know. And let me. I'm still playing around with my settings here, but Joann, you are the owner of Brooklyn Bar Body and Bath.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
And it's a lot. There are a lot of B's in there.
It's a
What is it?
mouthful.
It's buh.
For me.
A lot of B's. Is that a
Right.
mouthful for you to
It
say?
is. Not for me. It's everybody gets it wrong.
All right, you say it then. I want to hear you
Brooklyn
say
Bar
it.
Body and Bath.
Say it one more
Brooklyn Bar,
time.
Brooklyn Bar Body and Bath. So I explain to people it's Brooklyn Bar for the bar soaps, right?
Right?
And then there's also other for the body and bath.
Because you're not making candy bars, of course.
That's right. And there's no drinking involved.
That's right. No drinking
Off
involved. Well,
camera, maybe.
once you put in the body and bath part, we should figure out we're talking about soap bars,
Soap
right?
bars and everything for the bath and the body, moisturizers, etc. That pretty much sums it all up, right?
I guess. Well, you'll tell us.
Body and bath.
Um, so, what's your story? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
What's my story? I was born in Greece. That's going way back. And then I came here when I was a little girl, like 7 years old. Fast forward to today, I'm married for a very long time, and I have a son, a teenage son. And that's basically it. I have a small business, small batch, small business that keeps me pretty busy
Hmm.
and satisfied. It's very satisfying because I'm doing what I love.
Yeah, I mean, owning a business is at once satisfying and very frustrating, in my opinion. And there's a lot of stress involved. But how do you handle the stress? I'm
It's
curious.
true, but because I've been doing this for 8 years, I know certain things that I don't need to get stressed about because they're gonna just go away. There's a lot you have to pick and choose what makes you stressed, and I try not to stress
Hmm.
because I learned in time there's some things you can't fix, you can't control. The most important thing I learned for myself to alleviate stress in the small business is that you're in control. You can't possibly do the impossible, and it's very important to stay focused and organized. If you're
Hmm.
focused and organized, you have a little system going, everything is smooth.
Yep, I know exactly what you mean if you're organized. And right now, everybody's adapting. I'm adapting, and I feel constantly disheveled. Um, so, and I'm going to get into that with you too. I like to know how you're adjusting as well. But what did you do before Brooklyn Bar Body Bath?
So I always worked in a dental office, manager, front end, back end, everything for many years, and very consistent with that. But it was boring for me. It was very stressful. Talk
Hmm.
about stress, working for a doctor or dentist, very stressful. Um, but and it wasn't a 9 to 5, it was an all day thing. So then I had a family and I decided to stay home because that was my priority. And then I got bored within 5 years and I decided I have to do something. So I started researching soap and bath and body products. And
So why, out of all the things to research, was it the bath and body products?
it started with soap because when you go to the big box stores, everything that I was using, I was allergic to. My skin was itchy. I had allergies. My sinuses constantly dripping. Um, and I changed that by trying to research it and do it at home and do it for myself and my family and my friends. And it turned out that everybody loved it. So I'm a perfectionist, so it takes a while to get the formulas right. But once you get that done, the hard work is out of the way, and then the fun begins.
Hmm.
So
And what was the you know you were able to do this all at home. You were able to learn everything at home And so what resources did you use to learn how to run your
And
business, how to start and run your business?
well, I went and I took a class first. I took a class in the area, a very small group, get together just to figure out if this is the thing to do. And I loved it. And then I started to research the art of soap making and the possibilities, and they were endless. And when I began in 2012, it was the beginning of everybody making the soaps. That's when it first started. The handcrafted, the artisanal, the homemade soaps and bath and body products. Before that, we didn't have it. And so between 2012 and now, that's all you see is handcrafted bath and body products and candles. I do that now too. My stoked
Yeah.
my stoked candle line.
I got into business in 2011, and I agree. Just seemed like the perfect time to get into starting a business, especially with Made in Brooklyn Tours, because everybody's into artisanal, small batch, kind of shying away from mass production. More like what is it called? Artisanal luxury, I think it was called. There's like that. There's that phrase going around. A lot of makers, a lot of creatives. So you came in at exactly the right time. It seemed like maybe it wasn't true for you, but it seemed like after the Great Recession started, there were many people who were entering into this field of just making things from home or somehow getting involved with the maker movement. They just seemed to figure out, all right, this is the direction to go in. In your case, you took a class. So was a class offered? Like in my case, I took a class with New York State Small Business Services. It's called Fast Track, and it was for entrepreneurs. Did
No,
you take a class like that?
no, it was just a very local, have fun, make your own soap kind of class. It was expensive too. It wasn't
Hmm.
cheap. So it was just, let me go try it out. And I loved it.
And
I
it
love creating
inspired
with
you.
my hands. Yeah.
So the the process of starting the business. I see here. Let me bring up the website, your website in a second here, and I will do this. And this is I hope we're looking at your website right now. We are not. And
There it
now,
is.
there you are.
Those are the
Okay,
new
great.
hand sanitizers. Thank you, coronavirus.
And that's front and center. That's the first, as soon as people go to your website, that's the
Mhm.
first thing they see is the hand
It's
sanitizer.
creative. See, I try to create things that people
Hmm.
can find, and in a natural way. That's how it all began.
Yeah, I think you have to somehow add value. If you, especially now, is like, what's your value? And if in your case, it's kind of focusing on hand sanitizers, that makes a lot of sense. What was your first like success? Like when you started your business, you're just starting out as 2000 and what is it, 2010, right?
12,
2000,
2012, summer.
2012. You start out, and what informed you that okay, this is the right direction to go? Was it just feedback from customers? Was there a particular customer? Obviously you had to develop your website. What was it that made you continue to invest in this?
So funny, but the website came 4 years later.
Mm-hmm.
It was all just going and meeting people, popping up in little markets and then bigger markets, and just wanting to hear what the customers wanted, what they were looking for, why were they buying this, and what else do they want? And you'd be surprised. This is what they wanted. They wanted um, what I do, small batch, very simple ingredients. That's the backbone of my business. Is very simple ingredients that you can understand, non-toxic. That has to be first, and that they have to deliver results. That's where the formula is tricky, because you want to make it where you're just not selling a product to make money. You want results, and you want it for yourself, and you want it for your customers. Um, I also am not pricey. That's a very big thing, because I want them to use it. I want them to use my products and be happy. My skin is dry. Let me put something on and get results. No more dry skin. So I started doing the pop-ups in the neighborhoods in Manhattan, and the more I spoke with people, the more I felt embraced that what I was doing was the right thing. And then I wanted to just keep creating, because they were asking, do you make lip balms? Do you make things for the feet? Do you have deodorant? I have the deodorant, it's on the back burner, I still have to perfect it. So everybody wanted more natural, and like those are my inspiration or my customers.
What was your favorite pop-up market, by the way?
Always Manhattan. Always. It doesn't matter where. Well, it does matter where. I don't like to do the big ones. I found out that if you go to the big ones, like 200 vendors, the big streets, the all of Fifth Avenue, etc., those are the worst to go to because people are going through the market and not stopping at your store.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a sea of people, thousands of people, but they're not coming to shop. They're just walking through, they're eating, they're enjoying themselves. And those to me were very exhausting and a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
So I started to get invited to more curated, smaller events and smaller markets. And those were the best because people are appreciating you more and
Mm-hmm.
they're looking for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So, yeah, you get more attention. There's less competition. There's less distraction, right? I mean, I definitely get it. You want to, but you don't want to go too small because then nobody could find you. You know, nobody's going. You're not getting enough traffic. So you have to somehow find that sweet spot where you're not getting overwhelmed from the traffic from something else that's going on nearby, or
right.
all the other vendors, or just not getting any traffic at all. You know, it's possible depending on which part of New York City you're doing your market.
Yeah. You know what else? It's very important which markets, because if it's dirty and you're trying to sell clean products like that, it doesn't benefit the market. It doesn't benefit me selling my products at in a dirty market, food, smoky food, loud music. It takes away from that. Also, I made it a point not to sell my products outside in the summer because
Hmm.
they get warm. It's not the consistency I want people to see. So there's a lot that goes into this. And then, of course, the website finally was created. Thank you. And it was much easier
Hmm.
to do it this way than the markets. They're
All right.
very
So
challenging.
when did you put up the website?
Um, I want to say 2016.
Okay, so you got past that hump of the 4 or 5 year mark, and you said, "All right, I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to start making more product, and I'm going to have a website, and let's get into the products." So tell us a little bit about the products that you make, and start, if you could, do it chronologically. What did you start
Okay.
out with,
Yep.
and then what do you now? We see what you're focusing on at the moment, but let's see the whole line, from start to finish.
Sure. Very good question, by the way. So I always tell people they want to know what Brooklyn Bar. Brooklyn Bar is the soap. So I'm known for the soap, and the soap is just a moisturizing bar. It does the job. It cleans you well, non-toxic, gives you a little moisture. It's refreshing. It smells great. And that's where it started. Then people wanted more. They wanted moisturizers. So I created moisturizers. And then from there, I went to the body balms. So they're a solid lotion per se. Then some scrubs. They wanted the sugar scrubs. That didn't come out till much later. But I did the salt polish for the face. I noticed a lot of people wanted things for their face. They wanted cleansers. They want the scrubs. They wanted things that make them look more glowing and younger. Can't promise you that, but a healthy skin gives you the results. So that's basic. And then little things like lip balms along the way, nail and cuticle salves, pretty much something for every part of your body, men and women, even for children, because it's non-toxic. And then after that came, and not final, but came the candle.
Hmm.
So my candles are made with coconut and soy wax
That's
because
what we're looking at
together.
right now, right? No, we're looking at the
Yeah,
body butter, and there is a candle there too. Okay.
yeah, there's a candle there, but what you're looking at specifically is my True and Free collection because some people like the product itself and what it's supposed to do, but they don't want to smell, or they're sensitive to a scent, or they don't like this particular scent that it comes in. So then of course, I had to do a True and Free. I believe in you using the product and not because of the way it smells, but again, the results you will get from it. So that's my True and Free collection. So there's something for everyone with no excuses.
Hmm. So there are people who there are people who do love to just shop for small batch, and just generally they like small batch, they like artisanal, they like handmade, they like homemade. Um, and obviously, I could go into a CVS or I could go into a Rite Aid, and they could have shelves and shelves of skin moisturizers and soaps and so on. What is, specifically out of the customers that like the small batch, what drives them to get your product? What's the reason why, what makes your product different? Because of course, there are plenty of people who are making soaps and other skincare products. So why what's different about your product?
This is another challenge. If they see the product in person, and if they see me because I'm the one selling it, they get to know the story, the back end of it. They like that. They like the connection with the maker. They like to know where the product came from before they put it on their body, because they have a lot of questions to me, also for me. They also want to smell it. Sometimes they like the smell, and it either brings them back to their childhood, or they just like the smell of their latest vacation, let's say. So sometimes that sells. But more importantly, when they turn the product around to look at the ingredients, there are zero preservatives. Zero.
Okay.
When you put it in the big box store and it's going to sit on the shelf for a long time, you have to use preservatives, which is not good for your skin. So
Okay.
that's where I feel I have like a little bit of an edge, because I give them small batches. So I would make it. It's made now. It wasn't made 6 months ago, except for the candles.
So is that what you mean by non-toxic? Is that there are no preservatives because the preservatives are
Yep,
somehow toxic?
correct.
I see.
Also the scents that I use are non-toxic. They're either essential oils or non-toxic fragrance oils, which means there are no parabens, no phthalates. So there's no plastics and no artificial ingredients in there.
Mm-hmm.
So pure
Okay.
oil.
And how long, because it doesn't have preservatives, how long will it last if somebody bought something without the
Correct.
preservatives?
I, I sell things in smaller quantity also. Sometimes they want a larger version of it,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't want it to. We want it to last just a few months, like up to 6 months. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I tell them, use it. Don't let it sit in your drawer, but they last up to 3 to 6 months, depending what you buy. And then I have some other products like um, the body balm. Also, it's the solid stick, the
Mm-hmm.
lotion in the stick form that could last you for 2 years.
Oh,
Nothing.
okay.
You just they're just natural, and they're well made, so they last a very long time.
So you have products for men and for women. Do you have anything for a guy with a beard? I got a new beard. Do you
I
like my
I get
beard?
that a lot. They want the beard oil. What do you use on your beard to moisturize it?
Um, so I use, well, first of all, I just got some shampoo, cocoa butter in it, which I like.
Yeah.
And the other thing generally I use Jergens, I use that kind of
Okay.
skincare product. So that's what I use. But maybe you'll move me to your product. Maybe you have something. What do you have? Tell me. Sell
Any
me on this.
anything and everything that I have, you can use on your beard.
Okay.
So the Sochet body butter.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do
The
you have?
Sochet body butter is mostly shea butter and coconut oil, mango butter, jojoba oil. That's pretty much it. And you can take a little and rub it into you could rub it into your whole body, your face
Mm-hmm.
here, and your beard, and it will moisturize it. I
Okay.
have, and the solid lotion I was telling you.
Because I never grew the beard this thick. This is the first time I grew it this thick, and I got the shampoo because it was getting a little itchy, so
Okay.
I need something that is more moisturizes it, I guess.
But the
Uh,
shampoo might make it itchier and drier. You have to
right,
condition.
right.
Yeah.
So you need something after the shampoo. Obviously, I want to wash it, but I'll need something as after that. So do you package it differently for men? Do you have like different packaging for men versus
No,
women, or does it matter? Okay.
no, it's very minimalist. My packaging is black and white or white and natural. Like I use a lot of linen or burlap bags or cotton, and the labels are all just white and black. And the only thing I might change is the color of the scent.
Mm-hmm.
The rosemary lavender would be blue, and anything like lemongrass would be in green, and it's for everybody. And
So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
if it, I mean, if it's a floral scent, you might not want to use it. You might not want to use gardenia. So there is no men's or women's. It just has to go with the scent.
Right.
The product
And
itself
you
is for
said you have
anybody.
some products without the scent at all, right?
Correct. The true and
Okay.
free collection.
Right. The true and
True
free.
and free, which means it's the true product. So whatever you're using, it's a Sochet body butter or a bar of soap. It's just
Mhm.
that's what it is, and it's free of any kind of scent. So it's true and free of the product itself.
Gotcha. And now, so you started off with the pop-up markets. Now you have a website. You're selling direct to consumer through your website. Do you also distribute through other, wholesalers and retailers?
Okay, I try not to do no limitations for me. So if anybody emails me and has a special request or so what I'm currently doing, I'm not going to disclose the name, but I currently am working with uh, another company, another brand that includes my products in their gift bags. So
Okay.
I don't limit it. I like to spread the brand out as much as I can so I can I forgot. I'm
You could
lost for
get as
words.
many customers as you possibly can.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's,
I
that's
want to
the idea.
expose. I'm trying to say I want to expose the brand. So,
Right.
and I currently have it in a store in Park Slope called BBFL, Brooklyn Beauty Fashion Labo. I love them, and that's where we met, you and I.
That's exactly right. So
Yeah.
we both are fortunate that we have as a partner Brooklyn Beauty Fashion Labo on 7th Street between 4th and 5th Avenue in Park Slope.
They're
And that's
wonderful
great.
people.
So you're working with them. I'm working with them because they asked me to design a tour specifically for visitors from Japan because
Yeah.
BBFL has connections in Japan. In fact, the flagship office is here in Brooklyn, New York, and they have other locations in Japan, and they expect visitors to come. And so that's how I developed the relationship with them, and it's still ongoing. In your case, how did they discover you, and how is that relationship working out? What do they want from you and your products?
Basically they wanted my products in their store because they're very natural and they're Brooklyn made and they're sustainable. So that's what they were looking for. So the founder of Brooklyn Beauty Fashion Labo reached out to me and we had a quick interview, an appointment, I should say, just a meeting, and it was wonderful. And now my products are in there. And I'm doing some other projects with Brooklyn Beauty Fashion Labo that they haven't launched yet. It hasn't launched the
Hmm.
project because of the coronavirus. Everything has been delayed.
Yeah.
But they're wonderful people to work with. It's a wonderful company, a great brand, BBFL. You should go check it out. Well, not you. Everybody else should go check them out. 300 7th Avenue in Park Slope.
Yeah, and they're all about made in Brooklyn products too.
Yeah.
That's one thing. They're very focused because they believe that the made in Brooklyn brand, if you will do very well in Japan and other markets too.
Right.
Um, so
Sustainable is their key also. Sustainable. What I like about that store, I just have to tell you one thing. It's not just products, but it's also a gathering place because they have the lounge downstairs and they have a coffee shop upstairs. You can grab your coffee, go downstairs and hang out. I love that whole community concept that's their base of their entire store. They also have that hair salon in there, a nail salon. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
what
cool.
I like
It's a
about them
grocery
is
store.
that they really are doing their best because the principles of the business are from Japan,
Yeah,
and they really want to embrace the Brooklyn lifestyle, and they feel like sustainability, even though like right now the word sustainable seems to be overused, but I always say to them, okay, sustainability, you have the ability to define what sustainability means to you. And in your case, you've defined what sustainability. I know what sustainability means to me in the tour business. But I think it's still relevant. It's just that you have to be really focused in terms of how you define it, because every industry and every business in that industry will define it differently. So in your case, you're not using any toxic ingredients. You're doing everything very minimalistically. So, and everything is done small batch. That might
and,
mean sustainable to you, right?
and biodegradable.
And biodegradable as
Very
well.
important. Except when I use the glass, it has, it gets recycled, the glass. It gets another life.
Right. Well, there's reuse. What is it? Recycle, reuse. No,
Reduce.
reduce, reuse, recycle.
That's
Right.
right.
So you could reuse that glass that it's in. Right.
Yep.
In my case, what I might do is take my souvenir sea salt and put it into the jar afterwards. Who knows?
If it's not scented, you can cook with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, what was going to, okay, yeah, you brought it up yourself. You said that because of the coronavirus, everything's changed and everybody knows that we're all at square one all over again. So what does that mean to you? How are you adapting? It must be a huge change for you. You had all these things in the work, BBFL, another business you were talking about, you didn't want to name. You got up to this level, it seems like, where things were taking off beyond just the website, right? So there's a pop-up markets, the website, you're going into distribution, going into new partnership, and now this happens. So how do you adapting?
I love it. Because it's happening to the rest of the world, I don't feel like it's hindering on me. I
Well, you
feel
wait, hold, I want to stop you a second. You
yeah,
don't love it,
I do
right?
love,
But you
I love it.
embrace that, you accept that this is what's going on, right?
I don't love the coronavirus or anything that is done, any damage is done. I don't, of
Uh,
course. And I pray for everyone. I just happen to be fortunate where I'm working out of home. There's money coming in. My husband still works. He works in a restaurant, so he's there every day. So
mhm,
I feel very blessed. I'm full of gratitude, but I try to see the positive side to everything. And in this particular situation, because we didn't get hit ourselves with the coronavirus and we're all healthy, because that's the first thing for us. We do the quarantine, the masks, the gloves. I practice that. My son and I, we sterilize everything. We go to the market, sterilize. That's very important. Protect yourself and others first.
mhm.
But then what do? I could sit around and just feel depressed all the time and not be productive. But I decided to just be productive and make the best of it. So a few practices that I found to be true. Get out every day, walk around the neighborhood, get some fresh air, connect with nature. It smells so fresh now. It's just very clean. You could smell it. Take your
Mhm.
mask off unless you're around people. On the inside, what I've done is I've cleaned my space. I went small batch, small projects. I mean, small projects every day. Take a little piece of whatever is cluttered and free the space, clean it up, sterilize it, get rid of things that are just stagnant and you're not using. It's going to clear your mind. It's going to open your creative side. It's going to clean your soul and you'll be able to go forward. And uh, that made me very peaceful and very happy by doing that. And by doing that, I've been a little more creative for what's to come. Because once we come out of this quarantine, which is in the next few weeks, I assume, everything is going to continue. All right. And new things are going to start and you want to be prepared for them.
Right.
So
You have to somehow adapt. So you're okay, let me bring it back on.
I just want to add that everything that has been on pause, all the things that were happening with me and my brand per se, are
Hmm.
going to happen. Now I'm going to be a little more prepared for them because they were coming very quickly. And
Right.
I like to be prepared.
Right. I think that's a good point because I think there are a lot of people saying they're bored. I'm hearing that they're bored. There's nothing going on. I don't know about you. Well, I think I know about you. I think you're probably very, very busy. You're getting prepared, like you said. Me too. Every freaking day just flies by, and I sometimes wonder what happened during that day. And a lot of it is learning, you know. So, are you learning new things as you adapt to the new times?
All the time. I'm learning more things about me that I didn't know. I'm learning more things about my business, what's to come, how to handle it better. I was getting a little bit stressed because there were a lot of deadlines and they were coming very quickly. And I felt that if I want to be part of it, I have to stay on top, keep up with it. And
Hmm.
it was just it was moving too quickly, too many things coming my way, uh, and very unpredictable what was to
Hmm.
come. So I kind of needed this break. I needed to refocus and recenter.
Yeah, it's really weird because on the one hand, you're right. Even for me, this year it seemed to start so many different directions things were going on, and I was having trouble just catching up to things. And then the pandemic, happens, and suddenly, okay, this is something new as well. It's obviously something dramatically different from what I was expecting, and. As as a result, though, I also have this time to divert my energies to something new, like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
First, I want to do one thing though, because one of the things you're adapting with is with a new product, I suppose. But let me bring it up, okay? And let me go back here and go
All
here
that.
to yeah. Tell us about this. Is this a new? First of all, is it a new product?
New product, couple
Okay.
weeks.
All right, tell us about it.
So it's the hand sanitizer. Since day one, everybody started, with the hand washing and the sanitizers and the alcohols, and then your skin becomes raw. Those things are very bad for you. They're very harsh. So this is a sanitizer that kills. There's 72% alcohol in there. So anything under
Hmm.
70% alcohol does squat. It doesn't do anything for you. And that's what
Hmm.
they're selling in the stores. So don't buy the alcohol if it says 50%. It won't do anything for you. It has to be a minimum of 70%. This one is 72%. It also has aloe vera in it. So it leaves moisture behind. It doesn't
Hmm.
just kill the bacteria. And this kills bacteria. I don't recommend you use just this. You have to wash your hands. Soap and water, 20 seconds, back
Right.
and forth, rub in between everything, all the time. Um, but then this is for in between. I carry it in my purse. I carry it in my car. So if I touch something, I even use it on my gloves until I
Hmm.
come in. And it also smells nice because I have essential oils in there. So instead of it just being alcohol and smelling bad,
Hmm.
it's
So it's a spray, right?
it's,
It's a spray,
it's watery. It's not the gel. It's the water stuff. It's the water. So it could spray.
right? And it's also just a little over 4 ounces, so it's very
Yeah.
small, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And also I talk to people who are complaining about how they're scrubbing their hands raw,
Yeah.
and it's getting to the point where it's painful to wash to wash
Correct.
hands with soap and water. So in
Yeah.
this case, if you're on the move, you're outside, and you can't wash with soap and water, you could just spray it on, and it's also has aloe vera in it, so it's going to moisturize your hand too.
Right. As with the essential oils too, it leaves the oil behind a little bit. So you will spray it and you'll rub it within 5 to 6 seconds. It'll disappear. And then you'll feel the moisture behind. You'll feel a little bit of a barrier to your skin. It
Hmm.
won't leave you dry.
Okay, cool. So I'll just say one thing about what I'm doing in my space here, and then I want to talk about your space there. Okay, so this is
Okay.
the virtual tour part.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll show you.
so,
Sure.
so what you can't see here in my little amateur film studio is that I found a way to take my smartphone, connect it to my computer, and I'm able to use its camera, which was a lot better than my old webcam camera. So that was the one major thing that happened in my little film studio here at home.
It looks
Uh,
great. It just looks like a regular office.
yeah, it looks and it has better light. It takes care of the lighting a little bit better. In front of me, I have three windows, all facing me. I'm facing south anyway, so I get some sunlight here. The only thing both of us have to worry about whenever we're doing something like this is, in your case, you had somebody making a delivery. I think you said UPS, right? Just before we started.
Big delivery today, big boxes. I'm like, oh, this is the wrong time because I'm in my living room right now, which happens to be the front of the house.
Hmm.
So the entrance to the front happens to be through my living room, but we use the side entrance for every day so we don't get the place dirty. But UPS comes in through the front because it's just more convenient. and he gave me huge boxes right before our meeting. So as prepared as I was today for the meeting, there was a curveball. I expected him to come, but he came right before you and I connected, and
Yeah.
I got a little frazzled because I had to move very heavy boxes.
Well, and not right. So that's one thing that's going to happen. It's
Yeah.
probably happening to everybody that's doing this type of thing. And in my case, my
Um,
landlord, God bless him, he's very, very clean, but he just started with his leaf blower exactly when we were starting. I was like, oh no.
Today?
But
What do you mean?
but I know there were like three leaves outside that he had to kill.
It was
But
good.
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Please keep the place clean. I'm
Wait,
very happy
I
with
have
that.
to say, fun fact. We happen to be neighbors. We didn't
That's
even
right.
know each other.
That's
We're
right.
a block away from each other.
That's right. We're a block away from each other. We could literally walk to the beach at Calvert Vaux
Right.
Park. I told
No, but I
I
was going to
told you.
say, if I was to walk to my corner and you walk to your corner, we could actually see each other.
That's right.
That's
That's
how
right. But
close we are.
we're doing major social
Yeah,
distancing here,
yeah.
even though we're neighbors
And
practically.
we bumped into each other by mistake. Remember, we were in the beginning of the quarantine, we were bored, and you went for a walk, and I went for a walk with my son, and we bumped into each other. So, hey,
That's right. That's
a
right.
lot of
So, and
differences.
that's so cool because both of us, we don't live in Park Slope. We both love Park Slope.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like any part of Brooklyn, in my opinion? But we're from South Brooklyn. We're
Yeah.
from I grew up in Bensonhurst. I think you grew up in Bay Ridge, right?
Diker Heights.
Diker Heights. Okay, so you
Diker
grew up in
Heights
Diker Heights, a
since
neighbor,
I got here. Yeah. And now I just moved here to Gravesend, which is your neighborhood.
right? And I love Gravesend. I gotta
I
say,
love it.
yeah. So, okay, I don't want to go too long on this because we're going to lose people. So let's do the tour. Let's see your
Oh,
operation.
okay. Well, anyway, so my studio
Yeah.
happens to be in three parts of my home. I use the garage for storage
Mm-hmm.
on bulkier items and also for mass producing. I set up there in the garage. We're not going out today. I also use a good part of my kitchen because I have a big kitchen. I have the cooking part and another area, like almost a whole room, where I can create things in there, peace and quiet,
Well,
very
can you
productive.
give us a nickel tour? Show us around.
Not the kitchen. That's where the boxes ended up today.
Oh, you could show us. Come on, people are
No,
all
but
right with.
I will show you my studio, which is where everything happens. It's a
Okay.
small, in my office space slash studio. Everything happens there. I put the labels on there. You'll see. Let's
All
go.
right. All right. Let's go.
Well,
I
okay,
feel like I'm on your back and you're carrying me around. I should like hop up and down as you're doing this.
I know, but
So,
can you get rid of the website for now, please?
okay. Yes. Sorry about that. Here we go. Boom.
Okay.
And actually, what I'm going to do is.
Okay. There we go. So this is my computer. This is where I do a lot of the work. My computer, my main computer. And also, you could hear me, right? Uh-oh. Did I lose you?
I can hear you. No
Okay.
problem. I'm getting out
Okay.
of here so I give people the
Yeah.
full view of everything.
Yep, just the audio. This is where my computer, where I do a lot of the work, and I also design the labels myself. My little living room, we love it. It's got a lot of sunlight and outside inspiration. Okay, here's Dom. This is my home. That's my son is still sleeping. Yeah.
Sorry. Well, hold on 1 second. Hold on a second. I'm screwing up over here. I'm terrible. Hold on.
No worries.
Okay, and let me get out. So I'm going to get out now. Okay.
Okay. Computer, do the work there, labels, etc. My home, we watch a lot of TV at night. And this is the rest of the apartment. This is the studio. This is my cute little space where I have pretty much everything in here. This is my office. Okay, sometimes I close the door and I really focus on what I have to do, projects. My printer is in here. So I try to keep it clean and organized and neat. Here's my filing system. Everything works. Everything works beautifully for me. It took me a while to get to that point. But This is also my customer service center. My shipping department. Here's my shipping department. This is everything.
I see you're a neat freak like me.
So I'm a neat freak when the project has completed. As soon as a new project comes in, this place falls apart within seconds. There is wrapping paper, tissue paper, stuffing paper everywhere. There's essential, depending on what it is. Candle making, oh, Christmas time, the season, forget it. You can never take a peek into this place because I'm all over. And some of the completed products, I try to keep
If
organized. Dom, as soon as an order comes in, I want to package it up and get it out.
if
Like,
your husband comes in, is your husband banned from that room?
no, they don't like coming in here because they're afraid. They
Of what?
sometimes they walk in and literally can't see the floor. The floor is
Okay.
gone. There's boxes, there's wrapping paper, packaging paper. Like, where is it? Uh, my, you can't even see it anymore. This packing paper is all over the floor sometimes.
And that scares them, so it's not you. It's the
Oh, it's
packing
crazy.
paper.
Oh, it's bad. That's nothing. This is just a little bit of it, but you know
That's the difference between Dyker Heights and Bensonhurst.
what?
We would never, people from Bensonhurst will never be afraid of paper.
It's paper, it's bubble wrap, it's tape, it's labels, it's wax, it's everything everywhere. And then when it's all packaged and it goes out wherever it goes, then I have to come back and clean up. Otherwise, I can't work, I can't focus. But when I get overwhelmed, I do this.
And where else are you going to show us next?
Done. Then we finish. But I have to add, every day I do come in here with my coffee. I bless my space. I light my Palo Santo. I got these from Amazon. They're great. They clean your space. They get rid of the negative energy. And then, you bless it. You welcome all the work. You're grateful for the work that you get coming in. Here we are.
Okay, here we are.
And you have to bless your space and be grateful for what you have, and give me the patience, give me the wisdom. You ask for all that, and then every day becomes a better day, more productive, and another challenge, and you're able to handle it.
Yeah, I got to say, you're a very positive person. It's when we're
Oh,
together at BBFL,
mhm.
I always notice that no matter what's going on over there, you're always very, very positive and
Thank you.
generally optimistic and happy.
You know, you
So
wake up the
before,
next day, it's a clean slate again, right?
yeah,
You
every
wake up in
brand
the
new day.
morning.
Remember, I don't know if you remember, you used to listen to WABC. I used to listen to WABC at my Uncle Tony's barbershop. And the announcer used to say, every brand new day should be unwrapped like a precious gift. And I
Yeah.
love that saying. So before we leave, maybe you could give us some advice on, how to handle things. Just give us some advice on, what kind of advice would you give to people who, especially, particularly people who make things, people who are making things at home or in a small space like yours.
Mhm.
What advice would you give?
So everybody struggles. Everybody has a bad day, okay? It's not just you. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. So do I. Sometimes I'll wake up and it's a bad day. Things are just not working out. You make the best of it. I recommend taking breaks. When you feel that just things aren't working, just close it up. Take a break, walk away, do something else. Clear your
Mm-hmm.
mind, take a walk, whatever. Take a shower, watch Netflix. That works. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Something will inspire you, but you need to get away from it. If it becomes overwhelming or frustrating and you're feeling tense, walk away from it. Take a
Mm-hmm.
break. It works. I can't stress this enough that I've already repeated myself a few times. Clean the space. Once you feel the clutter gone, you will be able to see what's in front of you. Otherwise, you're only seeing the chaos. So get rid of that chaos, clean it up, put it in bags, put it in boxes, move it away, even if you're in the middle of working on it.
I mean, this is the time for spring cleaning, right?
Yeah,
So, to me, I agree. If you're decluttering, unfortunately, I'm decluttering, but I can't, like, often for me, I like to give away things that I no longer
yeah,
need,
me too.
and I really can't give it to anybody at this point. So, But I agree though, if you declutter, find another space in the home where you could keep it, away
No, but
from where you're working, right?
I actually meant if you're in the middle of, I sometimes work on too many projects without finishing one.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to do that a lot. And then I
Right.
get overwhelmed and I don't know which way to spin. So I literally have to remove, like sometimes my paperwork gets out of hand. That's very easy to
Right.
do.
Right.
I take it all and I put it in a basket and I bring it to another room. Now it's gone. I don't see it anymore. So I'm not focused on it because I tend to focus on that. Oh, look at this. When am I going to get it done? And then I just become more clear. And then I'm
Mm.
able to take the task, break it up into small pieces,
Oh,
and I
that's a
can
good
tackle it
idea.
better. It worked. It took me a while to get to that point, but you practice it. You're never going to be perfect, but you could practice it. If it works, stay on top of that.
Good advice. Very good
I did that.
advice.
I did it when I went to BBFL too, Brooklyn Beauty Fashion Labo in Park Slope. I walked in and I helped them reorganize some spaces that I felt that they were tripping over certain things. So I
Hmm.
rolled my sleeves up. I'm like, let's clean this area before we continue, and
Yeah.
that worked. Yeah, it
Especially
frees
now. I
you.
mean, it's
It
like
frees
like there
you.
seems to be there's this space of time, and it could easily get filled up with so many things to do, but we're still human beings, and we
Yeah,
can't handle everything at one time.
yeah.
So I find myself saying no to things more often so that I have more time to devote what I had already planned to do in the day. So I get it. I'm exactly like you in the sense that I have my another laptop in my kitchen area. I have a big screen that's connected to a smaller computer here if I want to sit on my couch and work. But I always try to do something to kind of change the space that I'm in to something else, and I get a different perspective. Stepping away from the vehicle, so to speak.
You told me
So
the other day actually that you were working for 8 hours straight.
right, you can't.
By
Yeah,
choice.
yeah.
And you
And then continue to work after that too.
feel
So
tired.
yeah,
You
it's
didn't give
it's
yourself a break. You have to give yourself permission to walk away and take a break and do
yep.
something else or do nothing at all. Another thing I have to stress, social media, shut it down.
Yeah.
You can really get trapped in nonsense in there.
Mm.
Nonsense. And I'm not one of those. My son is, unfortunately. He'll, watch the cats and the dogs and people dancing and kids falling. And before you know it, hours go by and you're exhausted and you feel just so heavy. I take
Hmm.
my phone and I lock it up in another room where it doesn't distract me. And
Hmm.
I recently, just now, during quarantine, I have to say it's been a month. I no longer sleep with my phone. I used to have it plugged in next to me. Now I
Mm.
keep it on the other side of the
Hmm.
house
Yeah, I know.
in the
I know.
living room. I don't hear it chiming. Oh, it made a big difference. No more distractions. I have peace of mind and I sleep better.
Joanne, thank you so much for spending some time with us today
It's fun.
on the virtual Made in Brooklyn tour.
It's fun.
And let me bring back up your website there,
Thanks.
and I'm gonna go full screen just for like three
Sure.
seconds so
This is
people can
where
see
people
this.
could reach me. See, I added a button down here for chatting. So if anybody wants to chat, email me or anything, any questions about any products or the business itself, the brand, etc. There's a chat button, and I get it. It comes on my phone. It comes through my WhatsApp. Is it or Messenger? No, it's WhatsApp actually. So I will get it, and I will return every message that I get. And
Yeah,
I
that's
do.
that's the other thing. People, that's the other thing that people who are in business for themselves are very, very responsive. And whenever we respond, the customer is getting a response directly from the person who's making the product often. And that's really wonderful. I mean,
It's
there's
very
another question
encouraging.
of how to scale beyond that so that you're able to do other things. But at least when you're small, when you're just starting out, customers get great customer service. I mean, or they should get great customer service if you really are as
I
devoted
lost
as
the
you are.
audio
I don't know why.
because I got a phone call
Okay.
and
Well, we're going to end right now anyway.
Okay.
So thanks again, Joanne. Really appreciate you coming on
That was
today and giving
fun.
us a little virtual tour of your space. I do wish we saw your kitchen because I got a feeling your kitchen must be gorgeous. Um,
It's nice. It's nice, but it's the space that matters. But thank you. You're very full of compliments. You're very nice. Thank you, Dom.
you're
And
welcome, Joanne.
whoever's watching and listening, you might want to book a tour with Dom, Made in Brooklyn Tours. That must be a lot of fun.
Or
You
at
know, because
least
every time you and I talk, just in general, you tell me so much about Brooklyn that I didn't know, and I love Brooklyn. So the more I know, the better.
thank you very much for the compliments. Right now, obviously I'm not doing tours. I do sell gift certificates. If you go to my website, you can
Huh,
get gift certificates. And
brilliant.
yeah, that's the one way. And I'm doing these virtual tours, which I'm actually having a lot of fun with.
Good. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
they're fun. Good for you.
this,
You're very good at it. Good.
yeah, and it's
Much
something,
success.
it's new for me. I like it. I enjoy it. It's just, there is this very frustrating um, learning curve for me. I wish I could flatten that curve. I want
You
to
will.
flatten the learning curve so I get this down and I can do this more often and have more fun with it. Um, but I am grateful for people like you. You always keep me motivated and you inspire me. And I'm very happy for you too. I'm glad that you continue to do your thing and to develop new products like the hand sanitizer. That's great.
Thank you so much. We'll do business together. It'll be fun.
Yes, I need something for my beard, and you explained that you have something that has no scent
I'll
to
hook
it.
you up. I know
You'll hook
people.
me up. Okay, you know people. Cool. I won't get something that fell off the truck. So, thank you so much, Joanne, and have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you. Bye,
Glad that we
Dom.
were able to see who's making it in Brooklyn, here
Yay.
in Gravesend, Brooklyn,
Yay.
Joann Montalto
And
of
Dom
Brooklyn
Gervasi.
Bar.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me finish. Come on, Brooklyn Bar Body and Bath. BBBB.
Sure.
All right, Joanne. Have a great day. Ciao
You
for
too.
now.
Bye, Dom. Thank you.
You're welcome.